First, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to be here. So, as Sort was saying, this is my personal approach to VCW. So, it's not a company thing, so it's not as interesting. So, this is all about me, and I'm not that interesting. But I'm from Porto, and I'm from Filipe. That's important. So this is the value creation wheel, and you already know this, unless you were sleeping throughout the session, so you already know this. So how I got to know this. So first, I finished my PhD. So I used to be in Porto. I was in a different city. I was in a different institution. So I worked in Universidade do Porto for 12 years. 12, 13, I don't remember. And I'm also currently working in research management, but I used to be working in e-learning. So for me, in 2013, there was a lot of change happening. So there was a new city. I finished my PhD, and that's mainly my crisis. That's where it all began. But then moved to a different city, to a new institution, and to a new field. And during this change, when I started working at Nova, I did some training at the doctoral school, even though I finished my PhD. And that's when I found out about VCW, at the time VCR, that was a more simple version. And I thought it was really interesting. So it was a way to rediscover or reinvent myself. So it all began by discovering value. And so I started to ask, who am I? And my initial training is I'm a microbiologist. But this was a long time ago. And because it was a long time ago, now I'm not a microbiologist anymore. I'm all of this. So I'm an e-learning expert because I did my master and my PhD and all my working career in e-learning. But I'm also a project manager. I'm also a team leader. And then I'm a problem solver. So I'm all of this. It comes with age, I think. That's all I am now. So the first step, I was trying to define myself. After defining myself, I had to find some value in all of this. So I have to find a new way to address myself in this crisis. And so I started in this training. I started to do some brainstorming with peers. So we were in the course. We started talking with each other. And with my profile and my competencies, who started to analyze who would care about it, what would they care about, and what can I offer. And another analysis that we made was, instead of doing this, was thinking, okay, I have these competencies, for instance, as e-learning and also as a strategic thinker, and who would need it, why, and I came up with these three, or at least, well, actually I found out more, but these profiles that I could have. So the brainstorming continued, and then we had to find out what were our values. So what things did I value? And I value a lot of things, like a good salary. I like to work in strategy. I like the intellectual stimuli. So all these things were the things that really interested me. And the next step of applying the VCW model, I had to validate these values. So I had to go to the board of directors. So there's my multiple personalities. And what I found out is that I am not alone. So I think this happens with the companies, but I'm sure it happens with each one of us. So I am not alone, so I have to balance what I value with what my family values. And I think this, yesterday we had an event at the rectory, and it was about researchers, high-level researchers, and all women talked about how they would balance their research careers with their family. I think only one man mentioned it. So this is scales. This is how I feel every day, trying to balance things. So then I continued to apply the model, the VCW model, to capture the value. So to that funnel that you saw in previous presentations, so I tried to apply it using those filters, my values. So what happened was that with my career visions, with my values and my constraints, mostly family constraints, but also, of course, others, I come out with an academic profile. So this is something that I would like to do, to have an academic profile. But I wasn't very pleased with this, because even though I really liked universities, I would like something else, a little bit more challenging maybe. So I applied the VCW methodology again, the second part, and I eliminated my constraints. So this is just wishful thinking. Yes, I killed my family. So this is my wishful thinking. So, and I came up with this vision for me, so as an e-learning and research consultant. And this was interesting because I saw myself always as an e-learning expert, and research wasn't really my thing. But then I thought, okay, now that I had this opportunity and this challenge, why not join the two of them? So e-learning and research consultant seemed to be an interesting thing to do. So then I tried to consolidate this value. So is this feasible? Can I do this in some way? What I found out, that maybe because I have very specific training, so I'm a microbiologist, so I have this science engineering background. I am a specialist in e-learning because I've been working and studying it for, I don't know, 15 years now. But now I have this research management know-how also that I'm learning still, but I already have some of it. So maybe e-learning and research consultant could be a good thing. And is this a blue ocean? Is this a new opportunity? Is this something really new that nobody else is doing? So I tried to analyze the market pain need. So maybe higher education institutions and research centers could need this to, for instance, increase or improve the research outputs, to make the research outputs more in the market. So this could be something that would be interesting. And me as a solution, because e-learning is a trend in higher education, is inevitable, because we have more and more people needing to learn, not only in Western countries, but all over the world. We don't have enough higher education offer. So we have a big offer in the wrong places. So we have to take this offer somewhere else. So I think this might be an opportunity. So this is what came out for this type of blue ocean. These are the partners I would need. So research universities, a technology provider, and so on. So this is the analysis I did. And I tried to be quick. Okay, so this was my analysis. Thank you.